Now let us talk about the various topologies being supported in IEEE 802.15.4. So first topology is direct communication with the base station, that is called as star topology. So here the sensor nodes communicate with the base station or maybe the pan coordinator directly. So if you see in this figure, in the center you will have one pan coordinator where the various leaves are coming out, and at the end you will see the device which is communicating with the pan coordinator. So here the topology is energy consuming because irrespective of the distance the data is being traveled, the information has to be directly reported to pan coordinator. So if we have the distance more, means the energy consumption will also be more. Here leaves may be any combination of full function device or reduced function device. So generally, if the distance to be traveled by data is large, we prefer the full function device at the end also, or if the energy is the constant, those leaf end can be reduced function devices also. So here in case of star topology, we can have a combination of FFD and RFD. Pen coordinator is essentially to be an FFD device. Now, example of these kind of topologies, the simplest example is the PC peripherals, which may require low latency connection of star topology. Then next is multi-hop scheme, which is also known as peer-to-peer network. Here the devices transmit the data through other intermediate nodes. So if you see the peer-to-peer network, the AND node will send data to the pen coordinator via hopping. So it will first send data to the nearest node, and then nearest node will transfer data to other nodes, and finally it will reach to the pen coordinator. So in this case, it is called as a peer-to-peer network because the data travels through various peers and reaches to the desired destination. Here also the topology is energy consuming because lot of hops are required to receive the data at the pen coordinator. More the number of hops, more is the energy consumption. For this topology, the example can be the perimeter security, which needs large coverage area and may require peer-to-peer networking. Next topology is cluster topology, where leaves connected to a network of coordinators. So if you see this figure, we will have the various clusters of these devices, where in the center you will have the pen coordinator, or you can say as a cluster head, and there will be multiple leaves coming out where the end of the leaf has sensor node. So these sensor nodes will send data to the cluster head, and then these cluster heads may send data to another supercluster head or maybe directly to the base station. Here one of the coordinators serve as a pan coordinator because the pen coordinator is required to consolidate the data and then send to the base station. So every cluster will have one pen coordinator which will be responsible to coordinate with the nodes around that coordinator. Clustered star topologies are an important topologies where the sensor data is communicated through cluster head to the base station. So such kind of example is visible in case of hotel rooms where the various sensors are deployed, and the controller which is available in room will sense the various parameters. Then it will send data to the HVAC system. So HVAC stands for heating, ventilation and air conditioning system, and accordingly the HVAC system will send command back to the coordinator, and it will act upon closing or opening of vents and so on. Next topology is low energy adaptive clustering hierarchy, which is commonly known as leech. In this case, the clustering is dynamic. It is designed for sensor networks where an end user wants to remotely monitor the environment. Data from individual nodes in leech must be sent to the central base station, often located far from the sensor network. So if you compare the cluster topology with leech, the only difference is that in case of cluster topology, your cluster head is fixed, while in case of leech, any node can act as a cluster head and other nodes will start oriented towards the cluster head. So here the desirable properties of protocols for these leech topologies are using hundreds and thousands of nodes, maximize system lifetime, maximize network coverage, use uniform battery operated nodes. So here the distributed cluster formation and local processing ensures that the global communication is reduced. So when you process most of the data locally, less data is required to be transmitted. So in this way, it will reduce the global communication. Now here the randomized rotation of cluster heads allow leech to achieve the desired properties while being energy efficient. So in case of the existing cluster head is dead, one of the other nodes can act as a cluster head and start coordinating with the other nodes. So in this way, the overall architecture ensures that the reliability is improved, so that even if the nodes or cluster head is dead, the alternate path of data communication is maintained. Now let's talk about the network layers. So the network layer guidelines in case of 802.15.4 are as follows. 802.15.4 specification does not address the network layer. It only takes care of the link layer control as well as the physical layer. So data link layer and physical layer are the main layers which are part of 802.15.4. The network layer and the higher layers are left to industry and the individual applications. Why? Because the services which network layer provides are more challenging to implement, because the power consumed by those applications are high, and while in case of wireless sensor network, the low power consumption requirement is the priority. So that's why the 802.15.4 only talks about the data link layer and the physical layer, and rest of the layers are left open to the service providers. Now here the main requirement of wireless sensor nodes is to be self-organizing and self-maintaining to minimize cost to user. So in this case, if one of the sensor node is dead, even if in that scenario the data transmission through alternate path is ensured. The topologies which are supported are star topologies, peer-to-peer and cluster. So cluster includes leech also. So the network layer is not part of the IEEE 802.15.4. we will see the architecture, and then we will discuss about the data link layer and the physical layer which are part of 802.15.4. Now first let's talk about the data link layer. So here the data link layer has two parts. First is logical link control, that is commonly known as LLC. This is the standard among many 802.x standards. So 802 varies from 802.2 and 11 and so on. It communicates with MAC through SSCS, that is Service Specific Convergence Sublayer. So LLC coordinates with MAC layer, that is MAC sublayer within the data link layer through SSCS. In case of proprietary LLC, they can directly communicate with the physical layer or maybe the higher layers. Next is MAC sublayer. So MAC sublayer has two basic services. One is data service, which is a common part of this sublayer, and then the management service to handle the management entity. Now let's see the system layering of 802.15.4. So in the base we will have the physical layer where either the channels will be based on 868 or 915 megahertz or the 2.4 gigahertz channels for physical layer data transmission. On top of that we will have the data link layer where we have multiple sublayers. So first layer is MAC sublayer. Here the MAC layer is reduced MAC layer, which is defined as part of 802.15.4 to reduce the power consumption. So basic functionalities which are required for data transmission are implemented in 802.15.4 specific MAC layer. Then we have SSCS layer, and then on top of that we will have IEEE 802.2 LLC layer having type 1. So the IEEE 802.2 LLC has various types. Type 1 is basically for unacknowledged data transmission, where the data acknowledgement is not required. So that's why the type 1 has the unacknowledged connectionless mode of services. Other services, that is other than type 1, are type 2 and type 3 services. In type 2, the data service is connection mode services, and type 3 is acknowledged connectionless mode services. Here, since the sensor nodes are power constrained, so the sensors just send the data and sleep without waiting for acknowledgement. So that's why in this case type 1 is the service which is best suited, which is basically the unacknowledged connection mode for data services. These are the sublayers which are implemented as part of 802.15.4 for data link layer. Other than 802.2 LLC type 1, we can also have some proprietary LLCs where they will communicate with MAC sublayer and share data to the upper layers, that is network layer or maybe the application layer.